Good afternoon and happy Wednesday, everyone. I am so glad you could join me today for our weekly style snack. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm April, and every Wednesday I go live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and I share a style snack with you. And it's one of my favorite parts of the week. So today I want to talk to you about what you need. I'm not going to sing to you. That's my gift to you today is I'm not going to sing, but I think we all know these lyrics. You can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. My kids love it when I sing to them. They don't actually. They don't love it when I sing anything to them, but let's just say that the music industry hasn't been beating down my door. But this one song in particular, though it's a favorite and a classic for most of us, is their cue that they will not be getting what they want. Things are just not going to go their way, they think. But the truth is, sometimes when things don't go our way, it's the best thing that can happen to us. Sometimes we get something better. And I posted about this on my Facebook page, I think last week, asking several of you, when was a time that you didn't get what you wanted, but you got what you needed? And there were so many great responses. Everything from, not getting a particular job that you wanted and a better opportunity came along, to, the person you thought was the one breaking up with you and then you met the real one, all kinds of things. But not getting what you want can be the greatest thing that ever happens to you. A sad fact is that we have been trained by the media to aspire to look one certain way, to force our bodies to comply with a standard that doesn't even exist. And in order to be acceptable, we must look like the photoshopped models and celebrities who don't even look like that in real life. They don't even look like that. And that is their job. Their whole job is to look a certain way. And if they can't do it and it takes Photoshop, then why should we be expected to? And why have they made up this horrible, oh wait, I forgot to show you my pretty, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. It's here, so I have to share it. Sorry, we're a little ahead of ourselves. But back to the thing I was going to share with you next. It's their full-time job to look like that, and they don't look that way. And yet we're expected to. And there's just the one acceptable way. So I want to show you some examples of this. This is Zoe De Chanel, and she is gorgeous. I think so many of us know who she is. She's absolutely gorgeous. We talked about her last week in the signature silhouette. She has a very signature silhouette, and she's wearing it in all of these pictures. And hold on. My computer has changed, and now I have to turn off the volume in multiple places, and I didn't used to have to. I don't know why. And in this picture, two of them, the first two are just street style shots. They're paparazzi shots. And then this third one on the right is an advertisement that she participated in. If you look at her in the first two pictures and you compare it to the third picture, what do you see that they've done to her body? I would love to know if any of you can see it, because I found this picture on the right when I was last week, when I was looking for pictures of her signature silhouette. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, what did they do to Zoe De Chanel's body? To me, it was glaringly obvious, but this is kind of a thing for me. So I would love to know if any of you can see what she did. Kathy wants to know what her body type is. She is a pear, and I use her as an example in the Style Your Silhouette body shape course. Because she's just really nailed her style. She's such a great example. Okay, we're getting answers. Her body is longer, elongated her torso. She's elongated. Yeah, they've elongated her torso dramatically. Like they've added inches and inches. They've slimmed her arms and legs. Yes, they have. I'm not going to say all the names. We're trying to be faster here. They've reduced her bust and gave her a longer torso. So Marcy thinks they elongated her top by blousing the top. No, they photoshopped her. They have graphically altered her body. This is not an illusion of her clothing. They've slimmed her legs, they've slimmed her arms, and they have elongated her torso. You're right, all of you, you've nailed it. Why did they do that? Why? Zoe is beautiful. Her body is perfect, just as it is. Why did they do that? It's perfect for her. That doesn't mean the rest of us need to try to look like Zoe. I'm saying her body is perfect for her. Cindy thinks they maybe even slimmed her face. I was wondering if they had. It looked like it to me, but these pictures, I was mostly trying to show you her legs, arms, and her. I'm pointing at it like you can see where I'm pointing. And her torso length. And they don't have a straight-on shot of her face, but it does look to me like they've slimmed her face as well and made her a little more perky too. Maybe they've perked up her bust. I don't know. A good bra can also do that, but and I was just disgusted when I saw this picture. I mean, she looks beautiful in this picture, but she looks beautiful in every picture because she was already beautiful. This didn't need to happen. It's so wrong. It's so wrong that they did this to her. And I want to show you one more example. I came across this one while I was getting pictures for the Hourglass course. This is Nigella Lawson. She is a chef in the UK. She also is gorgeous, and she is an Hourglass body shape. And on this picture on the right, it's a promotional photo that has been edited to high heavens. And I'd like to know if you can see what they did. And let me know if you can see what I can see, because in this one we have the benefit of she is wearing the identical dress. In the two pictures, she's at a live, these are live shots at a promotional event, and the third one is in the studio, and it's something that they used to probably promote her show or a book, or I don't know. But I thought it was ultra convenient that she's wearing the same dress, because it makes it very obvious what they've done to her. There's a little bit of a delay between when I speak and you hear it and then respond to me. So I'm going to look at a couple of these other comments about Zoe. Lisa says maybe that's not even her body. That's possible. They may have just taken her head and put it on someone else's body. They do that. That's awful. How would you feel if you were Zoe and they're like, yeah, I mean, great face, but we just use somebody else's body because it's better. I mean, how awful. And they didn't need to do that. Okay, so I'm seeing the answers coming in about Nigella. They've slimmed her hips, yes. They've flattened her midsection, yes. No rolls, slimmer waist, and her hips are smoother, yes. They slimmed her arms for sure. For sure. Do you see anything else they've done? They have also slimmed her legs and smoothed them. And it looks like they've slimmed her face a little bit. I know this logo is in the way. I don't see how to move it. Yeah, they slimmed her hips and smoothed out her imperfections. What they consider her imperfections, right? What we've been told we should be ashamed of. And yeah, Regina says she's totally slimmed down in her body and legs. They straightened her hair. Well, the straightening her hair, I mean, that's just a styling thing. I have naturally curly hair, and I go through seasons when I wear it naturally curly and seasons when I don't. But that's just, I mean, you can change someone's makeup and you can style their hair. I mean, there are things that we all do. I color my hair every 3 weeks religiously. I am full on, I'm 75% silver now. I'm due for a hair appointment this week. So let me see if I can show you my roots. Do you see how silver I am here? Yeah. So, I mean, I wear makeup, I color my hair, I wear nail polish, you know, I mean, even wearing shapewear, totally fine. Like, you know, straightening your hair, perms, those are all, we all decide where the line is for us, right? But when they digitally alter someone to change their bodies, that's not okay for me. That's not okay. So we're talking about what they have done to digitally alter her body. These first two pictures are just candid shots, right? She's out at an event. There are 5,000 photographers taking pictures of her, and they're just getting her from whatever angle. But they've also removed every single bump and wrinkle in the dress. Dresses make bumps and wrinkles, especially a bodycon dress like that. They move as we move. That is totally normal. There's nothing wrong with having bumps and wrinkles in your dress. It just happens, right? Like, dresses move. They just move. So they have made her look not like her anymore. And Carolyn says the first two pictures look like a happy lady. I think that's what it says. Yeah, she looks happy. Or I think in the first two pictures, and in the third picture, she's got a plastic smile on, which I hate having my picture taken as well, like standing there. And I probably have a plastic smile on my pictures too. But, you know, here in the first two, she appears to be having a nicer time. Leela says they've lightened her skin. Yeah, it looks like they have. That can be a trick of the lighting, but they may have also lightened her skin. She's got gorgeous skin. I wish I had skin like that. Marie says she's a beautiful person. Her real pictures are nice. The altered picture shows her nice as well, but it's not real. We need to start appreciating real beauty. We need to accept reality. She's beautiful on her own. No need to have a fake. Exactly. My point today, Maria. Do you go by Maria Elena or Maria? I knew a woman growing up, and it was Maria Elena. She did not want to be called Maria. So let me know. Amelie says she's supposed to be the face of plus size. I don't think well, that's another beef I have of what the models and media call plus size. I had a friend when we lived in Atlanta. I mean, she's gorgeous. She had mermaid hair. I mean, she was so beautiful. She was a size 8, and she was a plus size model. 8 is not plus size. The fact that they were using her to represent plus size women is really insulting to plus size women. That's not representative of who they are. You know, like, anyway, I don't look at Nigella and see plus size. But she is perfect already. She is perfect in those first 2 pictures. She is a human being. And her body is perfect. It did not need to be changed. And, when, I might sneeze. If I sneeze, excuse me in advance. It's just like tickling my nose. But when and this is not just these 2 pictures. So when I was creating the Style Your Silhouette Body Shape course, and I was looking for images of celebrities with these body shapes to demonstrate my points, and I had a few assistants helping me hunt down pictures. The rule is they can never be studio shots. They have to be street paparazzi shots. I know paparazzi are kind of the devil, but street style shots, live events like this, nothing from an advertisement, a movie promotion, nothing like that, because they're always photoshopped and their bodies will not look right. This is not a rarity. This happens on every picture. And not only is it has to be so, what is the word I'm looking for? Insulting isn't cover it. Hurtful to the woman in the picture, right? To be like, you need to digitally alter my body to be acceptable to show up on your magazine or advertisement or account, like, just even to her, how hurtful and degrading is the word I was looking for. But they're also telling the rest of us that only long, because Zoe wasn't long enough, thin, smooth perfection is acceptable. Don't you dare have some varicose veins or a blemish, a wrinkled dress, a short torso, a wider face. Don't you dare be human, or you're no longer acceptable. And the truth is, they're wrong. Zoe and Nigella are perfect, just as they are. They were perfect at the age of 5, at 15, at 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, at every 85, 95, 105. Did I cover everyone? I don't want to leave anyone out and be like, you stopped at 75. Does that mean I'm not? No, all of us. At every age and stage, our bodies are perfect exactly as they are. And they're perfect now, and they will be in the future. And so are we. And just like every woman on the planet, they have unique proportions and features that make them them. And the media has outlined them as flaws. Individuality is a flaw. I have a lot of freckles. I don't know if you can tell that. This is a webcam, and I just don't have that much control over it. It's a gaming camera. That's what it is. But like, I have freckles. Can you see that? I've been outside, and so they become more prominent on my face when I've been outside. Obviously, I'm wearing foundation. I'm very freckled. That's my bra, sorry. I'm very freckled here. My arms are very freckled. And red. I have a lot of red in my skin. And a scratch there, I guess. I got scratched somehow. The tops of my thighs are freckled. The parts of my body that have seen the most sun are freckled. I don't have porcelain skin. I've also been going through a breakout. My hormones are shifting, and I've got some acne here. It's been on my neck, and I get that hormonal acne. I'm not flawless ever, ever. Nobody is. They're not flaws. They're just part of being freckles. They're just I'm just freckly, and I have red undertones, and I have wrinkles, and my forehead gets very wrinkled. I have a lot of my forehead smiles. One of my kids asked me that. Why is your forehead so smiley, Mom? Because of these. And if for whatever reason they ever wanted to put me on a magazine cover, they would want to Photoshop all that out, because that's a flaw. I don't know. They would definitely do something about my ears. They'd probably shorten my arms. Like, there's so many things that they perceive as flaws, and they're not flaws. They're just me. They're just what make me me. They would give me a waistline because I don't have one. And why do they have to take our unique features and erase them or change them and transform their bodies into something that's an impossible standard? I find it so upsetting. And the worst part is, so many women don't even know. They see that picture of Zoe De Chanel or Nigella Lawson and like, oh my gosh, she's perfect. Oh, why can't I look like that? Nigella Lawson is a chef, and she must eat everything all the time, and she's just perfect. And I, like, it's so many people don't know. I'm surprised. Well, I work on this end of it, so I see it more. But when you're exposed to things, you recognize them. So when I first learned that I have a short torso, which means there's, if I'm being generous, an inch between my hips and my ribs. And just like Zoe has almost the same proportions I do. Let's look at her again, because I don't feel like standing up. In real life, she does. Do you see how here's the top of her hip bone? And I bet you, well, this belt, I bet you is a little uncomfortable. I bet it's rubbing on her ribs and rubbing on her hip bone. That's really wide for her. That's me right there. Like, I have a belt that wide, and if I try to wear it at my waist, it's really uncomfortable. It rubs bone on both sides. And when I learned, I didn't realize that other women didn't have, it just never occurred to me. And I learned that I will never have a dramatic or narrow waist. I won't ever have a waistline. It was life-changing. My whole torso is basically bone from shoulder to pelvis. There's no gap in between my ribs and my hips. That's where it whittles. That's where a narrow waist comes from. Any bikini model, they have like 6, 7, 8 inches in there that I don't have. And so when you have that softer area, that's where you can whittle a waist. That's never going to happen for me. It's bones. You cannot whittle bone. And suddenly, it was so freeing. I don't know if other people would see it that way, but oh my gosh, I no longer have to try to achieve an impossible result. It's never going to happen. I could just as easily grow 4 inches as whittle my waist. It's not going to happen. And it's perfectly fine, because my waist is perfect for me. It was perfect when I was pregnant. It was perfect 2 weeks postpartum, and it was perfect 6 months postpartum. It was perfect before I got pregnant. It was perfect because it was mine. And that's all it needs to be. If you're from the South, you've probably had someone tell you at least once that wanting ain't getting. I have a pear-shaped body, and at every stage of my life, it has been perfect. Not by media standards, not by most people's standards, but by my standards. Why? Because it's mine. And that is the only standard I have. This is my body, and that makes it perfect. And wanting a different body shape won't change what I am. And after too many years of wanting and not getting a different body, because I believed the media lies for the majority of my life, I can finally look back and see my body was always perfect. It's perfect today. It'll be perfect in 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Dieting, exercising, and beating myself up literally or figuratively will not change that I have a pear-shaped body. Of course, I can always be the healthiest, fittest version of myself, but I will still always be a pear. And there's nothing wrong with that. Our body types are determined by our bone structure. We cannot change it. You cannot even change it surgically. I can't get shoulder implants, right? I mean, there are certain things you can do surgically, but it won't change your body shape, your core body shape. I can never not be a pear. So another way of putting it, instead of wanting it getting, maybe just a little more eloquently, would be gratitude turns what you have into enough. And it's such a relief to finally allow my body to be enough. And enough is perfect. Loving myself is such a relief now. So does this mean that you settle or feel uncomfortable or unconfident in your body and in your clothes? Of course not. This isn't about settling or choosing. Like I said, we can all be our healthiest, fittest version of ourselves, and we get to decide what that looks like. Nobody else gets to decide what that looks like. We and our bodies, right? Because our bodies will, but if you look, this is, okay, so I sprained my ankle really badly a little over a year ago, and it still bothers me. And only recently have I been able to start thinking about exercising. But there have been times in my life when I was really on a fitness thing. I just wanted to get in shape. It wasn't about a certain size or anything, but I wanted some muscle definition and so on. And I just wanted to be strong and healthy. And every single fitness, if you look for fitness inspiration pictures, they're always a rectangle body shape or an inverted triangle, but usually a rectangle. I don't have a rectangle body shape. And at my very fittest, I will never look like those fitness inspiration pictures. And so I stopped looking for them. I just decided to exercise and get fit in the way I can be. And holding myself up to the standard of a different body shape was just an exercise in futility and frustration and shame. So this isn't about settling or choosing. This is about you looking and feeling your best, and you get to decide what that looks like. All body shapes and sizes are beautiful, every single one of them. We've been conditioned to believe in an unattainable ideal is our standard that we should have to hold ourselves to. And it's a marketing lie. I'll say it again. Your body is perfect. And when you dress the body you have, you create the body you love, and suddenly it becomes enough. Focusing on all your best assets, working with your body instead of fighting against it, allows you to fall in love with your body again. Or maybe even for the first time ever. For me, it was the first time ever. And it feels nice. It feels more than nice. Your body is beautiful. And in the Style Your Silhouette course, instead of hiding parts of our body, shaming parts of our body, we accentuate and highlight specific parts of our body. We think of it as a stage production. The lighting crew shines spotlights on certain parts of the stage to draw your attention to the place they want you to look. It could be because they want to direct your eyes to where the most important action is. to distract you from something like a set change going on over here on the side, or because they're trying to achieve an effect like telling us we're seeing a memory or a weather change or magic. And we can do the same things with our outfits, spotlighting our best assets, our favorite parts, where we want them to focus their attention, and we can use that to make them see what we want them to see. Kind of like a lighting crew in a stage production. And when you work with instead of against your naturally fabulous features, well, first of all, it's a lot easier. And second of all, it's so freeing. And I want you to fall in love with your body because it's amazing. And so I think you all know about my love-hate relationship with rules. And if you're new here, the summary is I love the rules that serve me and I ignore or break the ones that I don't. My attitude hasn't changed. But remember, when you get to decide which rules to follow and which rules to break, but you can't do that unless you know what they are and how they serve you. You do not have to follow all the rules for dressing your body shape. I don't, and I wrote 2 courses on it. I break them all the time, but I know what they are and I know what I'm doing when I break them and how it's affecting me. And not only that, if you don't even know what your body shape is or the rules, you could be dressing in clothes that are not meant for your body shape. And it's something we've talked about before, but not all clothes are meant for all body shapes. It's just a fact. And I've used the comparison of a boat. If you had a sailboat, and they've got the tall mast and the sails, that's their how they move. And you bought a boat cover meant for a speedboat and tried to cover your sailboat with it, the cover would hang limply from the mast and not even make it to the boat. Would you curse your sailboat because it didn't fit into that boat cover that was meant for a speedboat that doesn't have a mast or sails and has actually a totally different shape in the boat itself? Or would you buy the right boat cover? You would buy the right boat cover. And it's the same for your body. It's not you, it's the clothes. Certain styles of clothes are intended for, look best on certain types of bodies, and beating yourself up because you're trying to wear a style of clothing that was never meant for your body shape is just like blaming the boat and the wrong boat cover. There are much better options for you. And when you know what they are, you can look and feel your very most amazing and stop beating yourself up. I created the Style Your Silhouette course because I was so frustrated by how rigid the rules are for dressing for my body shape. And that all of the information in the courses and the books and everything that I had seen came from a space of shame. Cover this, hide that. It's not good. And I don't like that either. I don't need to cover or hide anything, and neither do you. This is the only program of its kind. Not only are we focusing on your best features and coming from a space of positivity, I'm showing you exactly how to dress for your body shape so that you look and feel your absolute best, and then how to break the rules and wear the things that you love that maybe you're not supposed to. So in the program, you figure out your body type. And that might sound silly, but I promise you, most women think they have a different body type than they actually do. Whether it's because they just don't know the differences or because they don't want to be that body shape because somebody has told them that they shouldn't be that body shape because there's something wrong with that body shape. It's a thing. It's definitely a thing. You'll know all of your best features because every body has beautiful features. Like your whole body is beautiful, but you have some standout, phenomenal, extra awesome features. And what makes your shape unique to you? You'll learn the tools for choosing the most flattering tops, bottoms, dresses, accessories, layers, and swimwear for your silhouette. You'll have a clear layout of exactly what suits your beautiful body best. You'll learn how to wear what you love, even if it doesn't follow the rules. You learn how to shop for the right pants confidently and easily, and that all on its own is worth it. You will understand the elements of each type of clothing, like pockets, fabric, color, and how they affect your silhouette. You'll be kinder and more accepting of your body by the end of it. And we could all benefit from increasing our self-love. And you'll fall in love with your body again, or for the first time ever. But above all else, the style of your silhouette will give you the confidence to finally embrace your beautiful shape and the freedom to choose which rules you follow because they serve you, which ones to ignore because they don't, and how to get the best of both worlds. The doors to style your silhouette are currently closed, but we will be opening them again this spring. And you can learn more and be the first to know when it's open again by joining the waiting list at stunningstyle.com/lovemybody. So no, maybe you didn't get what you want or what the media told you you should want, but you did get what you need. The beautiful, amazing body that you have, and it's perfect. And you deserve to love it. It deserves to be loved. I hope you can tell how passionately I feel about this topic. I have 3 daughters, and each one of them has a very different body shape. And they're all perfect. And I want them to continue believing that for the rest of their lives. I want them to know that just as they are perfect. And they don't need to ever compare themselves to anybody else because everybody else's bodies are perfect too. Okay, let's take a look at some of these comments. I'm going to try to get through all the ones we talked about. G. Geraldine says they minimized Nigella's wider bust. Oh, they might have. Should we take a look? Even that, like, one of the modules is all about undergarments, and we go through and talk about the different breast shapes, and there are a bunch of them, and some are wider set than others, and maybe she's got a wider set bust. You're right. Oh, they totally did. Her natural bust line, I missed that one. Good catch. Her natural bust line sits wider than her rib cage. And in this picture, they narrowed it. They brought it in. That's a good catch. Good one. Let's see really quickly if anybody else has. So Maria or Maria Elena. Okay. Well, which is fine. Well, okay. So that's good. I just want to call you the by what you want to be called. Let's see. A Facebook user says, "Oh no, size 8 plus size is insulting." It's just a lie. Like that's not, I don't want an 8-year-old representing a woman's sizing. I don't want, a 16-year-old wearing, as the model for my clothes. I don't want, I'm glad that the retail industry is starting to use a larger variety of body shapes and sizes in their models now. Finally. I mean, there's so far to go, but choosing a size 8 and saying that that's plus size is, well, it's not fair to you, is it? You don't look at her and think, oh gosh, you really represent me and I can see accurately how those clothes are going to fit me. It's telling you that you're not okay, right? And that they can't use a plus size model to show plus size clothes, which is so wrong. And finally, they're starting to do it. And I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. Amelie says, well, okay, a real woman that eats, but then they go and do that is what I meant. So, no, I see what you're saying. One thing that is also really important to me, it's actually one of our rules in the course and in the group, is every body shape is a real woman. We just come in all different packages, shapes and sizes, and so they whether it doesn't matter whether you're curvy or straight or thin or plus sized or whatever, we're all real women. But I get your point that she's supposed to be the face of curvy women, is how I would say it. And she's still curvy here, but she's not as curvy as she really truly is. And that's yeah, I understand what you mean. Carolyn says, yes, she is. I think when we were talking about that Zoe and Nigella are perfect. Karen says, I love your message today. Well, I hope that even a tiny part of this can pierce even some of you, and that you hear me when I tell you that these are lies and you're perfect. We don't look like this. She doesn't look like this. None of us look like this. And it's just, it's so unfair because we do believe it. Sue says, Sue's in the UK. Nigella is a very beautiful lady who's always had very dark hair and very fairly pale skin. Okay, well, so maybe she was just had gotten some sun, or it could have been the lighting. Yeah, maybe it was just a lighting thing at the live event, because different lighting does different things and picture settings, and I have zero photo editing skills, and so I totally get it. Like when I'm trying to I take my pictures and then I try to adjust them so that the colors of my clothes look correct, because I don't have the photography skills to take the pictures so that the colors are correct in the first place. So there's that. Carolyn says the third picture looks like one of Barbie's friends. I have a falling door for this. I think there's a little autocorrect happening here, but I get it. Yeah, they made her look like Barbie, and Barbie's definitely not real. G. Geraldine says, I still see porcelain skin when I look at you. It's the camera. It's the camera and the monitors and what. I do not have porcelain skin. Not even close. Not at all. Was this before I showed you my freckles and my redness and my wrinkles? I don't have porcelain skin. And I have big pores. No one would ever look at me in real life and be like, oh my gosh, I wish I had your skin. No one has ever said that to me in my entire life. I promise you, I do not have porcelain skin. Kathy says, I love the way you think. Well, I hope all of you can think it too, or at least start. Kathy G says, me too. Not sure to what, but I'm glad you agree. I hope it was something good that I said. Carolyn says, this makes me mad. Yes, I have been falling for it. Carolyn, you should be mad. It is so wrong and so unfair, and you are not the only one who's been falling for it. Most of us fall for it. I know what's going on, and sometimes I fall for it, and then I have to remind myself and go, oh, but that's not real. That's not true. That's not true. That's not what it is. So being aware changes it. Carolyn says, I do. Tell me what you do. See, when I go back and read these after, sometimes I don't know what you're referencing and what I said. Kathy says, I have long legs and a short torso, and they're perfect, Kathy. And everyone who has a long torso and short legs is also perfect. A Facebook user says, at 26, I realized I would never be a 5'10" blonde. You and me both. I mean, I guess anybody can be blonde. That's something you can achieve in the stylist chair, but I'm never gonna be 5'10" either. And that's okay. I don't need to be 5'10". My oldest daughter, I'm 5'6", and my oldest daughter is 5'2". I think she's done growing. I mean, she's 14. I had achieved my full height by 12, I think. She hasn't grown in a year, but she's got her fingers crossed that she's got another inch or so coming at least. She wants to be at least 5'4", and I keep I mean, I do tease her a little bit about it because it's just fun to tease her, right? But I keep telling her 5'2" is perfect. It's perfect for you. You're snack size. You're petite. Petite is also petite is good. Tall is good. They're all good. You're exactly what you should be. But I wanted to be tall too, and I'm not. I mean, I'm not short. I'm 5'6". I'm right smack in the middle. But I get wanting to be tall, or wanting to be shorter, or grass is greener. G. Geraldine says, I love pear-shaped bodies. I do too. And I love rectangle-shaped bodies and apple-shaped bodies and inverted triangle-shaped bodies and hourglass-shaped bodies. Each body shape has its own ultra fantastic features. Every single one. There's not a single body shape out there that's like, oh gosh, you really did get the short end of the stick, didn't you? Oh, that stinks. No. Every single one has amazing, extra amazing features that the rest of us are like, oh my gosh, I would die for that, right? But we have our own. Patty says, I wanted to be an hourglass. Now I know I will never be that. My shoulders determine my shape. I cannot change that. Yeah, Patty, and holding on to wanting to be an hourglass doesn't help you, does it? And accepting that you have a pear shape means that you can love the body you have, and you can start dressing it so that you love it even more. Kathy says, I'm soaking this in and it does feel nice. Then Kathy, this is one of the most valuable hours I've ever spent. Even if you are the only one who is starting to soak this in, then it was more than worth my time. I cannot tell you how happy that makes me and how important that is to me. It thrills me if even one more woman can start to realize that she's perfect, then you've made my day. Kathy says, love the stage production analogy. I have a speech and drama minor. Well, then you get what I'm saying, right? That's what we do. So in Style Your Silhouette, the lessons are focused on our spotlight goals. As this body shape, this is your spotlight goal, and how are we going to achieve it? So that is the whole focus of the course. What is your spotlight goal? How are we going to achieve it with tops? How are we going to achieve it with bottoms and with accessories and undergarments, dresses, layers, swimwear, all of it? And it's just a positive frame for it. Amy says, I have learned an incredible amount of knowledge from course 1, and I'm looking forward to course 2. Totally worth it. Thank you, Amy. I have loved having you in the course, and I can tell you that, it's such a wonderful group of women, and the things that they are learning and the aha moments have been so amazing. But the absolute most wonderful part has been the mindset shift of starting to love their bodies. I cry happy tears when I read these Facebook posts of how they're starting to see the beauty in their bodies, and that's really the point. Katty says, I also love the sailboat cover analogy. You're so clever. Well, thank you. We all have our talents, right? And I love analogies and metaphors. G. Geraldine says, am I saying that right? If I'm not, tell me. I was dressing like an hourglass. Then in your video, I learned that I am a carrot, and a carrot is also referred to as an inverted triangle, and it was life-changing. Well, I'm so glad, because It changes everything. It really does. Now you know what boat cover to buy, right? it makes all the difference. Megan says, I love that about you. It's not about what I need to hide, cover, etc. It's about feeling the best me I can be. Thank you, Megan, because that's just so important. That's just so important. You know, I'm going to just botch it, but one of the women who took Style Your Silhouette in the first group with me, she made a post in the Facebook group, and she said, you know, ever since I joined this course, I've been getting ads for other body shape things on Facebook and on Instagram, and every single one of them is talking about my flaws, how to hide this, how to cover that, and it's all negative, and how much she appreciated that we are focusing on highlighting our best assets, coming from a place of positivity, coming from a place of loving our bodies. And that is just the whole point. Let's see. Kathy says, I am an hourglass and have always felt so fortunate, but these days I look fat and everything in pictures because of my breast size. How do I fix that? I hate to even bring it up because everyone always thinks it's great to be well endowed. I think from other style snacks, I probably should wear tops that follow my curves instead of trying to hide my bulges with big tops, but yuck, the bulges. Ding, ding, ding. You just answered your own question. I mean, that is a very, very common problem with hourglasses. Either they got too much of the wrong kind of attention at too young of an age and continued like once they started to develop, or they just felt uncomfortable with all their curves. You know, theoretically we hold up hourglass as the ideal, but it's a challenging body shape to have for a lot of reasons. The attention is one, and finding clothes that fit you is another one. And a lot of hourglass shaped women hide in oversized clothes, shapeless clothes, because they're ashamed of their curves, or they feel like they have, what did you call it, bulges, you know, and that just, it's the absolute worst thing you could do for your shape and for your confidence. And so that's been a big thing for the hourglasses in this course. Almost all of them have been like, I've been wearing shapeless clothes to hide my figure, and I look so much better now. I feel so much better now. And your proper undergarments are probably playing a role too. And that's module 6 is all about undergarments. But, you know, we go so in depth and specific in the course to learn how to do this. Marianne says, I knew Stunning Style Society was for me when you answered my email the way you did. I was telling you the bright pink sleevebacks were sold out in my size. I said I had huge size 10 feet for my 5'3" body. You responded saying that I was so lucky I was the shoe size I am because I probably am able to balance better because of my foot size. And you were right. You opened my eyes. My body is perfect. Thank you for sharing that, Marianne. And it's true. I don't have very good balance. My feet are a little too small for my height. And so I've always envied women who have bigger feet and better balance than I do. And not only that, when your foot is bigger, you can wear higher heels comfortably because it's all physics, right? When you have a shorter foot and you raise, or a longer foot and you raise it 4 inches, it's not that big of a deal. But when you have a shorter foot and you raise it 4 inches, you're falling forward and over. So like, not only do I not have very good balance, I'm very limited in the shoes I can wear, and your feet are perfect. They're just totally perfect. I'm glad that had an impact on you. Marcy says, thank you, April. You certainly are helping us with self-love. You offer what we all need. Well, thank you, Marcy. And I just hope that if I say it long and loud enough, it'll start to sink in for some of you. Regina says, will the course start again with part 1 for new members, or will it be part 2? So you can only take course 2 if you've taken course 1. So when the doors open again, it will start with course 1, and course 2 is optional. They're separate purchases. So you don't have to purchase course 2, but you can only purchase course 2 if you've done course 1. So it starts with course 1. Carolyn says, is this a new group coming up? Yes. So the first group, we did our first launch of the Style Your Silhouette in December, and they started at the beginning of January, and they have finished course 1, and they are starting course 2 on April something, the first Friday in April. I don't remember the number of the day. And so they will be starting course 2. So this is a new group that will be starting together, and you'll all be starting on course 1. Kathy says, I used to be 5'10". It really limited the boyfriends. Haha. You know, I guess I know for some women it matters. Like they really want a boyfriend or a husband who's taller than they are. But I've had other friends who were quite tall, and you know, we all have preferences, all of us. For some women it really matters, and for others it didn't. Mary says, petite is good, so is tall. I have 2 daughters. One is 5'9", and the other is 5 feet, and I'm 5'6". We laugh about this a lot. Holy spread, Mary, that's hilarious. That's so funny. I don't think any of my girls will be as tall as I am, and I'm not that tall. But they're so petite. They've always been so petite. That's just the size they are. And I mean, it could happen. There could be some kind of crazy growth spurt, but all of them are very small for their age. But, you know, they follow their own growth curve. You know, every pediatrician has been like, you know, they're not on the growth charts, but they're following a steady curve. It's just their curve, and charts are averages, right? And they just have their own curve, and it's perfect for them. And, you know, so my oldest are triplets, and my oldest daughter, she's the 5'2" one. And the next brother is 5. He's probably 5'7". He's just a touch taller than I am. And then the third one is like 5'10" and growing like a weed. So it's a mix of boys and girls, but it's kind of the same thing. Each one of them will grow at different stages, and we'll see where they land. But I think she's done. And she's perfect. They're all perfect. Kathy says, all of a sudden, I understand that my feet give me better balance. Thanks for that one. Well, you're welcome. You got a very solid base. I danced with a girl who, she was 5'2", and she had a size 10 foot. That girl could plant. I mean, she was solid. She would do this super tight spin, and then bam, she was done, and you were not moving her. I never had that kind of control. I just envied it. G. Geraldine says, so true. My small feet like mine rob you of balance. That is why I love block heels instead of the popular stilettos. Yeah. Carolyn says, I'm so looking forward to this. Well, I am too. It's just been so much fun. And I'm really looking forward to the next group starting. Kathy says, we have 5 kids, and at one time we all but one girl wore 34 longs. Wow. That is not an easy pant size necessarily to come across. Yeah. I mean, my dad is 6 feet tall, and I have a longer inseam than he does, just because his length is all in his torso and my height is all in my legs. It's all about proportions, and it's just amazing how it can show up differently for each of us. This has been fun as always. This is one of my very favorite parts of the week, and I appreciate that you join me each week and that you spend this time with me. And of course, this is my very favorite part, is when we get to chat and I get to hear from you, because I think it's far more interesting. But thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope you hear me, even just a little bit. And I hope it starts to, at the very least, plant a seed in your head that we will continue to water and fertilize here at Stunning Style. Whether you join me in the course or not, this is a message that I will be talking about as long as I'm here doing this. And when you learn this, you share it with other women, even by just living your confidence. You share it with other women. When you speak positively about yourself, that affects other women. It gives them permission to speak and think positively of themselves as well. And we're going to start a revolution, y'all. It starts with us, and we can spread it. So share this message of self-love with every woman you meet, if you can, in any way that you can. And if you think that they'll benefit from my message, then please share this, because if you don't feel like you have the words to say it, I do. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. I will see you again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, if you want to learn more about the Style Your Silhouette course or join the waiting list for when we open up again, you can go to stunningstyle.com/love my body. And I'll see you in a week.